Yeah, we have Elle in the house. Elizabeth Huditz?
Huditz.
I'm still working on that name. Good morning. Welcome to Unity of Fort Collins. I'm Reverend Liz, and who are you?
I'm Reverend Divine.
That's what I thought.
And we say that to everybody here and everybody in live stream land so you feel included.
That's right. So we want to welcome you here on this beautiful autumn day. Isn't it gorgeous? I know we're enjoying it every second before it turns around. And I think it might be a quick turnaround. And for those that are perhaps watching us now, or the great thing about technology, you can watch it later in case you needed to be out there for that hike this morning. So welcome, welcome, welcome.
Yeah.
Is there anyone here for the second time? If so, if you could just give us a wave. Okay, nobody, maybe somebody online is waving. Well, okay, welcome. Anyone here for the very first time? Okay, well, welcome. Whoops, yeah, I'm so excited. I'm knocking things over. Well, I'm so grateful for your presence here. Love to have you chat with us afterwards and tell us a little bit more about yourself. We also have welcome packets that are available outside, which will give you a little more information as well. And I'm going to just glance at my notes to make sure. We have a vision here. We have a vision. And our vision, and I'm going to speak it, and you can speak it with me, but I'm going to pause in between each statement because I want you to get the feeling of it. Our vision at Unity of Fort Collins. We are centered in love. We are inspired by spirit. And so we awaken, connect, and thrive. That's what we're about. And I'm grateful for your presence here today. For every one of you is a gift, a blessing to this community. So thank you for your presence wherever you are on your spiritual path, wherever you are in the journey. If you believe in a higher power, Christ consciousness, Buddha nature, whatever it is, or not believe anything at all, you're welcome here. We're an inclusive community. We accept all, and our mission is basically to love ourselves and one another unconditionally, and to move beyond the differences, to celebrate that which is the power and presence that is breathing us. So glad that you're joining us here today. And I think we have a few announcements. Reverend Divine, what's happening on Wednesday? Well, she'll be on in a moment. Anne, would you like to come up also?
I just wanted to say this coming Wednesday at 6 o'clock in-house is Grief Support Group. It's a drop-in basis, so it doesn't have to be something that if you haven't come before, you can't come. It's about an hour, and again, it's 6 o'clock. We do mask up, so if that's something that calls to you, please come on down. And Anna, if you would please come on up.
Anne is our acting president of our council. Let's give a hand to Anne.
Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm super glad to see you all. My name's Anne Hudgens, and I'm serving as the acting president of the Unity Council. I've got two things I want to tell you about this morning. One is that we have a video that's available to us as a result of a training that Reverends Liz and Divine went to. The keynote speaker, John Wimberly, was talking about generational change in churches. And we had a group of people that viewed it once, and we had a marvelous, stimulating conversation. And so we thought we'd offer it one more time and see if there was anybody who missed it that wants to see it, because it's well worth seeing. It really triggered great conversation. And if we saturated the group who wants to see it, so be it, no problem. And we'll keep moving on. So that's this morning after the service. We'll show the John Wimberly tape, and I have now seen it 3 times, and each time I get more of it. So I'm not tired of it yet. So it's I think it's inspiring. The other thing that I wanted to thank you all about is that we have completed our annual membership survey that went out maybe a month ago at this point, a little more. And the number of responses was impressive. Almost 60 people responded and to the online survey, and a bunch of people called me. So I've had a ton of conversations with folks. Our council is meeting this afternoon to take a look at that survey and to see what lessons there are to be learned, gifts to be offered, future vision, all kinds and sorts of things. So I want you to know that if we send out a membership survey, we actually look at it. So it's we thank you for your time, and let the future unfold. Thank you all.
Julie, would you come on up here? So, Julie, I want to call you Reverend Julie. Come on up. Come on up. I know we have a Reverend. Come on up, Julie. She's our awesome and amazing administrative office person. And if you don't know her, get to know her. She is love incarnate. And she does more than God knows that anyone could be doing. So let's give her some love.
Good morning. I'm actually up here, just pretend I'm Leanne. Leanne is in Wisconsin this weekend. Her sister passed away, and she's there for a memorial service. So she asked me to make her announcement for her. This is the fall annual cleanup, and it's going to be on Saturday, October 23rd. We'll start at 8 a.m. and go till 2 p.m. And window washing is on the docket, and then we'll also just be cleaning up the grounds and making everything ready for winter. And luckily, there's not as much to be done because we've had some amazing volunteers all throughout the summer with the Adopt an Area program. So we want to just give a huge thank you to all those people who were coming. Some people were coming weekly to take their area and do the weeding, any kind of cleanup that needed done. So, but we do want to get together and do this. What we've done, like in the spring, we stay socially distanced, but we're outside. It feels fairly safe. And then we ask anyone, you can just bring your own picnic lunch. And we stop for about 30 minutes or so and sit and eat. And it's a really nice community time, as well as making our grounds beautiful. So I'll be outside afterwards with the clipboard, and if you have any questions, let me know, and then we can get you signed up. And Leanne will be back this week too if you have further questions.
Thank you, Julie. And last but not least, we have meditation on Wednesday nights. It's the 1st and 3rd. It's on Facebook at 6 p.m. But this is the good news. Technology means that if you want to have a meditation, you can go to the Unity of Fort Collins the Facebook page anytime, look at videos, and you can click that on. It's a half-hour meditation. So there's always a selection. You don't have to necessarily be there at 6 p.m. to watch it live. There's these videotaped versions. So that's something that you may not have thought about, and now you'll think about it, and you might even try it out. Okay, it is October 10th. Do we have any October babies in the house? Yes? No? Raise your hand if you are an October baby. Wow, no October babies. We didn't have any September babies. I don't know what's happened 9 months ago, but not much. I'm just saying. Okay, well, to all those online folks having an October birthday, we want to wish you the best year ever and celebrate the gift of you as well. And we have kids, by the way. They're invisible, but they're back there, and they are ramping up. There is more excitement. More kids are coming every week. You're not seeing them because we're keeping them in their own fun place. People are coming in. These kids, one of them came in today. First time here. She was a little nervous. She came in and she goes, "Oh, I love this place." Right? So those that have poured their love into the room and the decoration and the thoughtfulness, it's having an effect. And Stacy, who's our youth and family leader, said it touches her because she's not used to, she's so used to it being beautiful. But to see that it has an effect, so make sure if you see Stacy, give her some love on that part. And we have one more announcement. And it's about somebody who is here every single Sunday. And he's invisible often. I'd like to call Andres Linares to the stage. Let's give it up for, and yes, Andres, you're being called from the curtain.
No longer invisible.
Come up here. You're going to get visible today on the stage of life. Andres is our tech assistant. We hired him in February. His position at that time was we pre-recorded services, so he was there to pre-record, and then he took the guest musicians and the recordings, and he put all the pieces together and then had it posted. Then what happened is we came back in-house. So Andres did a lot of research to find the best equipment at the best price that makes us have a professional virtual world presence. I've looked at other churches. What he has on here is being able to focus, to bring it in live, to have that. There's so many things he has done that no one knows about. So we need to really have an appreciation for him today, and every day actually, but I wanted to call him out. He's also, I asked him to put together a standard operating procedures document in case he ever gets to have a day off, right? And so this last week, I'm not a techie. I went through this 3 pages and started from turn on this. Where's the button? He's got everything marked. Oh, it is amazing. I was able to do what he asked. There was a couple bumps, but he's amazing. So I want you to pour out your love and give Andres, and he's also known as Dre, your love and appreciation.
Yay, Dre.
He's awesome and amazing, and here's a little gift from us to you. We love you, and you go back to your corner.
This was not planned, so they put me on the spot, but it's great. But thank you guys so much.
Love you.
Yay, Dre.
Okay, so we have a lot of love and appreciation. So at this time, I invite you to join me in our opening prayer. So taking a breath in and let it go. Another centering breath in and release. And now just take a moment to pause in that stillness and notice your breath. Notice the sounds that you hear. Yeah. Expressions of divine love in smaller packages, enjoying their morning. And so we come together in gratitude this morning, grateful for our breath, the breath of life that is breathing me, that is breathing you, that is breathing all of creation. It's the breath of our kids and our youth, our staff, our leadership, our volunteers. We have so much to be grateful for, and so we open our hearts and we open our minds. We open to that divine love that's in the very air that we breathe, that is breathing us. We open to the message on release by Reverend Divine. We open to the music and the message. We just open to the heart of the divine that is beating within ourselves and each other. We celebrate this morning's service, knowing it is perfect in every way. The kids are having a great time, and they're learning as well. And so we just bless this time, knowing that we are a blessing to one another, and for this day, knowing it is all good, because it's all God. It's all whatever you call that power and presence. And so we let it go, knowing it is already so. And we anchor it by saying together, and so it is. And we have what we call our unity blessing, which if you picked up your sheet of paper or know it by heart, we speak these words together and speak them from our hearts about what unity is. So together, our unity centers us in light and peace, allowing us to recognize the God within and to radiate that love to the world. And so we do. Thank you.
Come one, come all, come rich or come poor, come however you are, in tatters or pressed, or your Sunday best, we welcome you all. So raise up a toast, put away your ghosts, and lend us your ear. Your worries can wait, there's a will underway. We're so glad that you're here. So brothers and sisters, come on in, the water is fine. For here we can love one another, if only a moment in time. We're all going home, no one knows when. Memories are all that we take in the end. Might as well be with our friends. Yeah, we might as well be with our friends. The road can be lonely, the road can be long. Take all the things you love best. Sometimes we all need a shoulder to lean on when we need a rest. So brothers and sisters, come on in, the water is fine. For here we can love one another, if only a moment in time. We're all going home, no one knows when. Memories are all that we take in the end. Might as well be with our friends. Yeah, we might as well be with our friends. So comrades, amigos, hiding in shadows, are feeling a little bit down. We wish you all well, and we'll see you the next time around. So brothers and sisters, come on in, the water is fine. For here we can love one another, if only a moment in time. So brothers and sisters, come on in, the water is fine. For here we can love one another, if only a moment in time. We're all going home, no one knows when. Memories are all that we take in the as well be with our friends. Yeah, we might as well be with our friends. Might as well be with our friends. Yeah, we might as well be with our friends. And Gerald Gates.
Thank you. We have the best music. Good morning. My name is Reverend Julie Legg, and our word for the day is trust. In all things, I put my trust in God. Few things are as comforting as being able to trust completely. Trust means I can relax, knowing I will be supported on my journey. When I trust, I feel comfortable trying new things and taking chances, believing that even if I trip, I'll have help getting up again. I have known trust with some of my family, favorite teachers, colleagues, and friends. I treasure their encouraging words and steadfast presence that helped me grow into the person I am today. But even as people have come and gone, God within me and all around me has remained the steadiest, most enduring presence. I am no longer troubled by the changing world and the impermanence of things, because I trust God is with me always. In all things, I put my trust in God.
Sorry, I have to be in the right place. There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all for myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through the day, you gotta let it go, gotta let it all go. And this is what you have to say. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With the Spirit I can see the light, 'cause I'm free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Help us out, guys. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for. Hey guys, there are no wrong notes. No more struggle, no more strife. With the Spirit I can see the light. Yeah, I'm free in the Spirit. Feel free to stand up. I'm only here for God. Oh yeah.
Spirit, move through you. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I am only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife.
my faith with the Spirit, I can see the light. I'm free in the Spirit, 'cause I am only here for God. Sing along. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, 'cause I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. When I see the light, I am free in the Spirit. And I am only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. 'Cause I am only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. In my faith I can see the light. I am free in the Spirit. 'Cause I am only here for God. Woo! Take it away, Divine.
Ooh, I asked for that song. I asked for that song, and Elle said, "Are you sure you want that? That's like a really kind of high energy song. Are you sure?" So I said, "Yes, because I'm going to riff off that. That's very important to me." That song is special to me. My talk title is Release and Let Go. And the principle that we're working with, the power that we're working with this month is release. Now, that song was written by Ricky Byers and Michael Beckwith way over 20 years ago, and the very first time I heard it was about 20 years ago when I walked into a religious science church in Oakland. And I was just like so moved by that of course I got the CD, and of course I played it over and over and over again. And at that time, I was starting what was called practitioner studies, which is about a 2 to 3 year program of deep study in order to be lay clergy. And I have to admit, I have always been a control freak. You know, that might resonate for some of you and not for others. And I've really worked at becoming a reformed control freak. And I say that to you because I used to feel like I had to put my hands on everything and micromanage it. Like I had to know every nuance, every little thing. And if I couldn't figure it out and know how to be with it, I would fret about it. I would actually become stressed out and anxious. And so I picked this lyric, I picked this little phrase, I release, I let go, I let God. And I said it over and over as if it was a mantra until I was able to be calm. Now, you could just say, I release and let go. I mean, that works just as well. But it helped me to remember I'm not carrying this load myself. And the lyric, I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I thought I had to do it all by myself. I am certain there are folks in this room and live stream that still too believe they have to do it themselves. And I am here to say, when I get out of my way and allow whatever you choose to call it, higher source energy, spirit, God, love, to assist me, for me to be still enough to allow what wants to come through, I don't have to know every detail. And usually the trying to know the details is blocking my own flow of things that want to come through. Because you see, there's often things that want to come through that are way better than anything I could have imagined by myself. So I release, I let go, I let the Spirit run my life. My heart is open wide. Yes, yes, I am only here for God's source energy love that is within myself. And like many of us, I was raised that God is in the sky. Well, God's in the sky, but God's everywhere present, including within us. And the more I was able to grasp that part for me, not only did it make my studies easier, it made my life process easier because I could just be more in the flow. Or as my chiropractor said, be Gumby. Just be flexible and be in the flow. And that, to me, is what autumn is all about. Anyone here besides myself love autumn? It's like my favorite season. You know, Great Spirit Mother Nature, she does amazing work. And every season she does something amazing. And I always look forward to the gifts she offers up because she inspires me to realize everything is always changing and I have to be in the flow or I get stuck. And so when I'm looking at the season of autumn, there's these amazing leaves changing. And I'm almost like a little kid going on my morning walk seeing what she's brought today, you know, because it's subtle. It's like you're walking and you see little tiny changes and you keep waiting for the big pops of color. And then all of a sudden, maybe you haven't walked that particular route for a day or two, and you step out and there's this magnificent bouquet of color that she has brought forth. I didn't even recognize the tree in my front yard has just gone bam with yellow. And I walked out and I thought, how could I have missed that? Well, I had the honor a few days ago to officiate a gravesite memorial. And I say the honor because it's always an honor to me to have that opportunity. And I'm driving and I'm seeing things I hadn't seen, so I was much more tapped into the color changes. I had a lady call me the end of last week who lives in Wyoming. Her mother practiced the teaching of unity and wanted someone to officiate. And the nearest church facility was Fort Collins. So I left her a couple of messages. I didn't hear back from her. I got to release and let go. I thought, you know what? Maybe she's made other arrangements. As long as I've called her and she knows, I'm good. And I did let it go. And then a few days later, she called me apologizing profusely. Oh my God, Reverend Divine, I'm so sorry. I didn't hear your message. I didn't get your message. Well, I'm just assuming the woman's in grief. And I'm just holding space for her loved one that's passed. And she says, it's not going to be a big deal. It's just at the gravesite. We're going to do another memorial service for her. Well, what I know is that the gravesite, for many people, that is their final resting place in this dimension. And a lot of times, a lot of emotion is evoked in that time. So I asked her for a lot of information about her mom and what was important to her about the teaching and what were passages that she cared about, so I could make sure to weave that in. And I drove 2 hours to Wheatland, Wyoming. Don't plan on having to make a bathroom stop while you're driving, unless, of course, you're not shy. I'm driving, but I'm having a chance to look at some amazing pops of color Mother Nature has brought forth. And I was so excited. And I did the service, and the service was beautiful. And the daughters that align with Unity Teaching came up and thanked me so much for being willing to make the drive and to do this for their family. And they actually said we weren't aware that it would, in fact, evoke a lot of emotions. So we're so glad you did what you did. And driving back home, I'm having yet another opportunity to see Mother Nature's paintbrush. She has brought so much forth with the color changes. Now, the color changes here are very different from where I'm from in California. And so it's like, again, child's eyes where I'm looking at everything and thinking, wow, look at that. And it just makes my heart happy. And yesterday, I'm out for my morning walk and there's some wind. Isn't that amazing how Mother Nature then brings wind when all the trees are full and ready to drop their leaves? She brings either a light breeze or a wind. And I watch the shimmer of the trees as the leaves release themselves. And then we have not only a full releasing opportunity, but then we have a ground that looks like a carpet of tapestry from all the layers of leaves. But what I love is the leaves are not clinging and clutching and trying to hang on to the branches and saying, no, we don't want to fall. The leaves just let go and allow themselves to fall away because that's the completion of their cycle. They know that's their completion, and we go on to the next season. And I was thinking about the beauty of how they do that, and yet there's times in our lives we know it's time to let go of something. We know it's time to let go of a relationship or a job or some other situation, and yet we hang on. Like going to the party and staying way past time. Like, you know how you come to the party and you start watching people leave and you're still there? And the people that are hosting the party don't know how to get you to go other than to offer to do the dishes. Well, the leaves, they just release and let go. And we often cling to these situations, even though we know it's better. So I'm just watching nature and how she shows me gifts and lessons on what to do. And one of the things that I like is the dictionary for the word release says, to set free from restraint, confinement, or servitude. Let me read that again. That sounds pretty dark and heavy. Set free from restraint, confinement, or servitude. To relieve from something that conflicts, burdens, or oppresses. Yeah, let me hang on to some more of that, please. Okay? Then the spiritual definition for release is to let go, discard, remove, liberate, and eliminate all things that are no longer useful, and yet we cling. We cling because we're afraid. We don't know what else will be there, so we hang on to what we know. And that's much easier than just saying, hey, let me let go and be in free fall and let something else occur. And there's this lovely quote by Jean Houston. We all have the extraordinary within us waiting to be released. If we would just get out of our way. It's waiting to be released, that extraordinary part of ourself. So I continue to focus on the areas that need to release. And I'm yet again reminded of the memorial service I did and how there's always a phrase that's used. They're in a better place. They're free. They're in a better place. And I've thought about it and I thought, well, how come we only use that phrase when someone passes to the next dimension? Why don't we celebrate it when we take this big step, release something we've really needed to release a long, long time ago, jump into something else that we've been longing to be called forth to, and then smile and say to ourselves, I'm free. And not only am I free, but I am in a much better place. So I invite you to consider that phrase as a way of celebrating yourself whenever you do something big, to congratulate yourself, as opposed to at another time when you won't be around to hear it anyway. And this leads me to a time where I had worked at a job for 10 years, and I loved this job. It was a medical office with sales. They'd never had the optical part before, and I was paid very well, and I did an extraordinarily good job for this practice. Now, when the doctor planned to put this optical in, he had no idea it would do as well as it did. So he made a little small, tiny, like afterthought closet, if you will, of an optical. And it probably brought in more revenue, maybe 4 to 5 times more than he could have ever imagined. And I'm working at a rate where there's no space to have a part-timer to help me. I am doing this and I am burning out and I am actually becoming ill. This might resonate to someone, where actually something made you so sick you had to let go of it, or else you would be compromised. So I had a couple of chats with the doctor, old-time conventional conservative MD, where, you know, his way is the only way. And I kind of let him know that, you know, I make you a lot of money, and your patients are really happy, and I'm starting to need some assistance here. And he placated me and listened to what I had to say. And he said, well, you know, I don't really see how that's going to happen. And then I started missing work a little bit because I was getting vertigo attacks. I don't wish that on anyone, ever, because it was so debilitating to me I couldn't get up to go to the bathroom, let alone suit up, drive to work, and perform. And he got really mad at me because I was starting to miss work, because he didn't get that I was that sick. You know, when I went to a naturopath and they informed me on ways to help manage this, and one of the key things they said is you've got to let go of your stress level. It is absolutely devastating your body. I went back to him, and he doesn't believe in that mumbo-jumbo naturopath stuff. You know, you go to a real doctor. So, of course, I go to the real, ear, nose, and throat. They do a whole bunch of tests so that I can bring a little slip like a 5-year-old to, you know, the doctor to show him, see, this is what they said was really happening. And we had another conversation. This time it was, how can I manage my stress? And when he chuckled and said, I don't really quite see how we're going to make any of this happen, the light bulb went on in my head. The job that I loved, that was paying me really well, that was also making me super sick, I had to say bye-bye to, because I was getting no support or cooperation from my boss. He didn't really see it as serious, thought it was funny. I'm here to tell you that's an opportunity to say, I release and let go. Now I did, you know, it took a little time. Of course, I got another job, and it took a little time for me to find something that was really passionate, that I loved. And I went to another practice. It was in Stanford University shopping center called Stanford Shopping Center in Palo Alto, very high-end shopping center. And the optical was a boutique, very upscale. And a new doctor had purchased it, and she didn't really have her confidence in her sea legs. So having me on board managing her practice was a great help to her. And I was there about 5 or 6 years and helped her get her backbone. And she treated me pretty well, paid me pretty well, and there was always the carrot dangling of these things I needed to go to do to be able to achieve the raise I was attempting to get. So I had some little pieces of me that had discord that were saying, this is not, I kind of feel like I've come to the end of the road here because we're not going to be going much further. But again, I didn't listen to the voice that kept saying, let go, release. Well, I started ministerial school, and I knew I was going to need a little flexibility in my work schedule. And I sat down with her. I said, I need to chat with you. And we sat down and we had a nice conversation. It was November. And in optical, that is the busiest time of year because people have their flex spending to use. And I'm in a very upscale mall with people that have lots of money they have to spend. So, yes, of course, I'm going to work that time for you, but I need to make another plan. And I asked her if we could come up with a plan that perhaps I could maybe once a quarter have a Saturday off. I thought that was reasonable. I didn't think that was too big a deal. But being one of the top salespeople, she was calculating in her mind lost revenue. Okay. Also, I have this canny ability to intuit people that are looky-loos, just browsing, and people that are spending money seriously. And so my job on a Saturday was to not only work with my own client base, but what I call work the floor. Who's looking, who needs help, so I'm directing people, and I'm keeping the flow of the day going. And she reminded me, you're invaluable, I have to have you on Saturdays, so you know what? No, you can't have Saturdays off. And I tried not to cry because I was so mad. Here I have had this woman's back. I have had her back and helped raise her, if you will, in her business. I'm asking for a small favor, and she's like, no. I said, okay. I listened to Spirit then. And I said, well, I'll work this season for you, but I need you to know at the end of the year, beginning of the new year, I'll be seeking a new job. And we both had a little sniffle about it, you know, boo-hoo. And yet, and still, she didn't do anything else about it. I honestly don't think she thought I would leave. And so when I did find the next opportunity and gave her notice, she was like, and she actually said, I didn't think you'd do it. So again, I'm getting a chance to realize I needed to let go because these are people that are not valuing me. So even if I didn't need the change, the fact that I wasn't being valued, I needed to make the change. If you hear a little voice in your mind right now saying, I release and I let go, I urge you to listen to that. Because the next opportunity that I got was a little more conservative ophthalmology practice. I was paid much better, and I had better hours. And they also understood that on a certain day, I had to leave at a set time, and I didn't work weekends. So even though the product I was selling wasn't as much fun and high energy and cool, it worked for my well-being. And they appreciated me and showed me a greater sense of my worth and my value. And when I graduated ministerial school and it was time to move onward into that being full-time, again, they were a gift, they were a blessing. And I had to listen to that peace. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I thought I had to do it all by myself. I do not. And whenever I get out of the way, wow, it's so much better. It's just so much better than what I could imagine. So I want to read you a quote from one of my favorite people, Ralph Waldo Emerson. And he says, finish each day and be done with it. You have done what you could. Some blunders and absurdities, no doubt, crept in. Tomorrow, it's a new day. You shall begin in sincerity and with too high a spirit to be encumbered by your old nonsense, which means you're so much bigger than that. Continue with your shoulders back and your head up high. And I'd like to close with this. This is from Alan Cohen. It takes a lot of courage to release the familiar, and seemingly secure to embrace the new? But there is no real security in what is no longer meaningful. There is no more security in the adventurous and exciting, for in a moment there is life. And in change, there is power. So I invite you to consider for yourself when you feel overwhelmed, having too much happening that you just don't feel you can cope with, to embrace that little chant or affirmation and say, I release, I let go. And say it until you actually can feel a calmness come over you. And if you're comfortable in saying, I release, I let go, I let God, as a reminder that that greater source, that higher spirit within you is there every day, every moment to guide you, to direct you, and to support you in being that powerful presence of love and light that you are. So let's take a moment, if you will, to go inward. Let's just take a moment. Take a moment just to realize that who I am and who you each all are these amazing beings of light, or bright colors of leaves bursting forth. And that we know and honor and respect when it's time to let go of whatever circumstance that is not serving our greatest and highest good, and to relieve ourselves of anything that constricts us, that feels like it's a burden or a form of oppression, to rise into all that we are here to be about, all that we came here to be, and to remember you're never alone when you stop something and take a risk to go to the next greatest thing. You're never alone. You have support all around you. Whether it's support in just remembering that Great Spirit is with you, whether it's support for asking for prayer, whether it's support for praying, you are always being praised up and raised up to your greatest and highest that you can possibly be. And if you are willing to get out of your way and let something come forth greater than you could have imagined, what wonderment, what joy, what gratitude is right there waiting for you. So I give thanks knowing this is the truth for each and every one of us to the extent that we're willing to embrace it. I let it go. I so let it go. And if any of this resonates with you, please feel free to anchor it with me by saying, and so it is. Amen. Thank you.
Surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith, and I am stronger every moment, every day. My mind is willing and my heart is open wide. I trust my instincts and my spirit be my guide. I vow to live a life that's real and true and free, as I continue walking in this mystery. I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith, and I am grateful every moment, every day. There may be walls, there may be roadblocks in my way, but I can choose to take a higher path each day. And now I know that what I thought was safe and sound was only habit and regret that held me down. I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith, and I am kinder every moment, every day. And I am grateful every moment, every day.
I don't know about you, but I am filled up. Oh, beautiful talk, Reverend Divine, and music. Just, we're so blessed. And it's this time in our service that we bless the offerings. It's our way of giving tangible gratitude by our love offerings, which are donations. We have a basket here and one in the other area over there on a table. So it is a time just to give our gratitude in that tangible way. And we thank you for your generosity. You know, we keep happening, and it's because of what you give. And so we thank you from our hearts. We have a prosperity blessing that we like to say together in unison. And so if you would care to speak this with me. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God. Yes. And we also have what is called our prayer of protection, which is also something that we speak together in unison. So if you would like to care to speak these words or just listen and take them in. The light of God surrounds us. We are the light. The love of God enfolds us. We are the love. The power of God protects us. We are the power. The presence of God watches over us. We are the presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And so it is. So it is time for our peace song, and I know that last week there was a rising up and doing a circle with some distancing. So if you are so inclined to get up and to make a circle around the sanctuary, leaving some space between you and the other person, I'm sure that that would be the way to go about it, because I know this is a tradition. And what I really love too is that Andres, who's back there with the camera, he makes the camera go around so we can see you all. So let's go. Yeah.
Yes, there is peace on earth, and peace that begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as our Creator, family all are we. As we walk with each other in perfect harmony. Oh yeah. Yes, this begins with me. Yes, this is the moment now. With every step I take, this is my joyous vow. To take each moment, live each moment in peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me.
Yes. It begins with me and it begins with you. And as we go out into the day, may we be a reminder of that loving peace and presence that we are, so that we continue to contribute it to the world. I know that this is an amazing day, and I'm so grateful and blessed that you're all here. And for those of you that are called to stay for our video, blessed be. And if you choose to be off into the day and enjoy it, may it be the best day ever. And if you'll just anchor that with saying with me, yes,
Yes.
yes, yes. All right. So if you want to take a little bathroom break, a snack break, if you're staying for the clip that we have, it will start at about 11:30, and that is really giving everyone a chance to just, stretch their legs a little before we start. Thanks.